Hi, health professionals. Doug Grant here, and today we're going to be talking about some new research on COVID on an area that hasn't really been mentioned before in the press. Let's check it out. Hi, everyone. Doug the Steve Ruddy here to share with you some information that's so exciting. It's some new information about the body and the effects of COVID and the ability to protect itself from not just getting it, but also if we do get it, how fast do we recover? Now, most of that research, as we've talked about before, really comes down to vitamin D. And a lot of information about it. If you're inquiring about vitamin D or you haven't kept up on that research, check out the blog on optimalhealthsystems.com/blog or go to the website, optimalhealthsystems.com, and go down to where you see the blog and click on it. And you'll see tons and tons of research studies out about vitamin D and those things. But today is different. Today's on a new research study that has been done since COVID came out. And they did this research study in Asia on patients that had COVID and then after, and measured their bowel integrity, measured the probiotic levels. They took stool samples and everything and really seen what was going on with the body's friendly bacteria and also the pathogenic bacteria. And it was really interesting because this is the key, because they found out that the friendly bacteria in the body had a dramatic effect on the body's ability to not catch COVID, but also its ability to really respond to it, to be able to get better faster, to be able to keep antibody levels high afterwards. And so these studies were done at university in Hong Kong, and it was really showing that the complex system of the billions of different bacteria and the different species of bacteria in the gut, it's critical to make sure that those are thriving, that they're healthy. We're supposed to have up to 3 pounds of friendly bacteria, 3 pounds of friendly bacteria at a time in our gut. And what's funny is that 3 pounds of friendly bacteria that we're supposed to have, I've had many people say, well, then I'm going to get rid of my bacteria, then I'm going to take an antibiotic or something to destroy them. I'll lose 3 pounds of weight, and not thinking, and I guess that makes sense if you think about it from that way. But the truth of the matter is the body works different. If the friendly bacteria aren't there, the body will actually start to inflame, and you'll have 7 to 10 pounds of extra weight because of the inflammation and the pathogenic bacteria that are there, or the UTIs or different things that are created that creates more weight, if you would. So the whole mindset of people that think that they want to get rid of those 3 pounds because it's 3 pounds somehow is going to make them feel better or look better because of the scale is completely wrong. It's the opposite of that. If you have your gut full of those 3 pounds of friendly bacteria, you actually lose weight because you don't have the inflammation and all the things going on in your body. So anyway, so if we have 3 pounds of that friendly bacteria in our body and it's healthy, and we have the different species in there, it's not just one, it's not just acidophilus, it's not just bifidus or thermophilus, but all the different probiotic species that are needed, then the body's able to fight off COVID much better. And it's interesting that I just saw, and some of you probably seen it, that they come out with these new tests for COVID that are actually anal swabs. And I thought, well, that's crazy. No, it is crazy. But anyways, why would they do that? Why would they be able to detect that? Because the friendly bacteria in the body play a huge role in the prevention of COVID and being able to destroy it and to be able to protect the body from having serious complications if you get it. The difference between being symptomatic or asymptomatic or how severe the symptoms are. So the study was phenomenal, and the researchers noted the gut is the largest immunological organ in the body. And as such, they wanted to find out if the gut microbiome will affect the immune system response to COVID-19 infection. And so the study details were just amazing. They took blood and stool samples and medical records from over 100 hospital patients with laboratory-confirmed COVID infection, and then from another 100, close to 78 people without COVID-19. And the COVID-free patients were taking part in this microbiome study even before the pandemic started. So they were able to get these great baseline samples, and then they took the COVID-19 patients to be able to get the additional samples and be able to compare them. And the COVID patients had higher numbers of the cell-destroying bacterial species, Ruminococcus navis, and a few others. And so the study participants really helped us understand that there was certain bad bacteria that were present in COVID-19 patients that weren't present in people that didn't have it, or people had higher levels of friendly bacteria. And so they understood the importance of the microbiome. And I think that that's really critical for us to understand. And one of the things that I'd highly recommend is to have your patients, first and foremost, if they can have fermented foods, have them. Remember, supplementation is just that, supplementation. If we get it from our diet, get it from our diet. It's just that in America, North America, we're the only place on the planet where our population doesn't consume foods that have friendly bacteria in them. We don't consume fermented foods on a daily basis. If we were in Japan, it'd be the miso soup. If we were in Korea, we're just there last year, a lot of kimchi, right? A lot of fermented cabbage is what kimchi is. And so different places around the world, as a staple of their diet, they consume these fermented foods to keep the friendly bacteria, the probiotics, up in the body. But here in America, North America, we don't do that. And so we need to supplement back, and it's critical. And so I highly recommend that you look at your patients and help them understand the importance of keeping the microbiome high. And if they have anything in their diet that destroys the friendly bacteria, then they need to make sure to clean those things up. And it also help determine how much of the fermented foods, if they're going to start eating those, or supplements they should take of probiotics. So for example, the things that destroy the friendly bacteria the most, that's going to cause some of these COVID reactions or the ability to get it or have worse complications to COVID, is number one, antibiotics. Antibiotics is the number one destroyer of friendly bacteria in the body. And I have people say, well, I don't take antibiotics. Well, do you eat meat? If you eat processed meat, you eat meat from the store, from the fast food restaurants, you're taking antibiotics. Over half the antibiotics that were produced in the United States every year go to animal feed. And so, or the animals themselves direct. So what's happening is these animals have these antibiotics, not in super high doses when you eat them, but that's actually bad because you're taking just a little bit of the antibiotic in the meat and it's destroying the weak bad bacteria, and the strong ones are getting stronger. They're becoming immune to it. That's how we get super germs. So we want to understand that antibiotics, number one, which also includes meat, but especially over-the-counter or prescription antibiotics, destroys friendly bacteria. Stress, heavy stress destroys it. Carbonation destroys it. So we know that just those things alone will, if we ask our patients, will affect it. And they'll say, yeah, I do have a lot of stress, or I do take antibiotics or drink sodas, anything acidic that can destroy these friendly bacteria. And if so, they need to add back the friendly flora. And I love to start with food. Like, awesome, you're going to start eating kimchi each day. You're going to go out and be able to have kefir each day, or real sauerkraut, or real miso soup. If you don't, then you need a supplement. But if you do it with your diet, that's awesome, right? And so you're always putting it back on them. And if you don't, then go ahead and do that. And I recommend like a good 8-9 strain probiotic like Flora Plus, or if you want to do the Flora Blitz, the full 100 billion CFU, if you want to go that route to really get in and re-inoculate the bowel. The Flora Blitz is phenomenal, that package, that box. But get in there, increase that friendly flora, start getting them off the things that are destroying the friendly bacteria, and go a long ways to help with COVID today. So that's our COVID tip for the week. New things are always coming out, but I thought this was exciting. It's really different than what we're normally hearing with just the great things that are important, like vitamin D and zinc and vitamin C and all that great stuff. This is just something on the other spectrum that's really critical to understand, especially understanding the new testing that's come out with anal swabs and that. Why are they going there? Because the friendly bacteria, what's getting past them or what's getting in the system has major effect on your health. So today, think about the bacteria in the body. Make sure your patients aren't doing the things to destroy their friendly bacteria, or if they are, to start eliminating some of the things from their diet. Add back the friendly flora on a daily basis and do it based on what they're going to be doing as far as their fermented food intake and or the things they're doing to destroy their friendly bacteria. And it goes a long way to help just overall with your immunological response, not just COVID, but anything, to be able to boost immunity, to keep us healthy, to reach optimal health. Give that a shot today. Let us know what you think of this. Subscribe below. We're excited about coming out with these shorter little podcasts to help give you some information to get in and start working with your patients today to be able to reach optimal health. Until next time, keep chewing.